Good morning, Rhonda. How are you today?
I'm doing actually pretty good. How are you doing today?
Well, I'm much better today than I was yesterday. I've got to say, yesterday was really a shit show, and it was a gift that kept on giving all the way to last night. I mean, Larry Taylor had a show last night, update on what's next as far as Bernie Sanders' campaign and what we need to move forward, and we couldn't interface with YouTube, so we had to stream it over on Facebook in Progressive Oregon. John Ellis helped us out with that, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, John. But let's hope today goes a little bit better.
Yeah, yesterday after the show, we had a good meeting with I put out there for anybody that wanted to come in to a Zoom meeting and just talk and get things out. And it was a good thing that we did that. There's so many emotions going on there. So many people are wondering what is happening next. So I'm glad you guys did that show last night, and we got some stuff to talk about on our end on what we think can happen.
Yeah, I guess we should start off at the beginning with the Bernie campaign today. What do you think we should do about that? Should we start off with the little cartoon here so everybody can see it?
Yeah, so this one's always been close to my heart, and this popped out in 2016. Because all of us are saying, well, you're supposed to be doing all this stuff, Bernie. You're supposed to be changing our lives. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to be doing all this. And, he's like saying, no, it's supposed to be you. And that's what I want people to remember. It is going to take each and every one of us fighting at our local levels on up to enact these changes that we all so desperately need. But he has been saying all along, it is not him. It is us. So it's time for us to come together and make this happen.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. He's still going to be out there. He's still going to be leading the charge. But we all need to stay in the fight. We need more to join the fight as well at all levels.
Yeah, I'll just read through this real quick. It's, as our friends tell us, these graphics need to be better, but this is pretty blurry. But Bernie, you said that you were going to change America and save the world. No, I said you were going to do that, and I know you will. Well, I guess that's where we're at now. We're up to that. That's fine. That's,
And we can. I mean, we can. I know that people are getting fractured out there again. Dem exits, Dem enters. There's Burn the DNC. There's third parties coming together to try to be structured. You name it, it's happening. And so we can't let ourselves be divided. I think everybody has a calling on which direction they want to go and work at. Again, it's for we the people. And we need to hit them at all angles. So go find your passion, which way you want to go, but let's all together, come back together at the end of the day.
Yeah, there are groups. There's the Movement for the People Party. What in some of our groups isn't Tyler working on that?
Yeah, the Progressive Party is one party that's been out there forever. There's a tried and true, state plan that has been successful in Vermont. And so there's a lot of people coming together looking underneath that banner for the Progressive Party. But there's so many out there. There's Socialist Alternatives, there's a Green Party, there's Working Families Party, there's all these fractions. But I see that the Progressive Party is really where a lot of the grassroots people from the people who've been behind Bernie are kind of tending to go, because they are forming it, as their own kind of people's party.
Well, yeah, I get it too, and as the way that everybody that was supporting progressive candidates, Bernie Sanders, after dropping out, they're madder than hell because they've seen the evolution of what's happened. Even those who criticize Bernie's campaign and how it was run still support Bernie's issues. So we got to remember that even though they're being hard on Bernie's campaign and maybe even personally in sort of a way, because the buck stops with Bernie, they're still on board with the issues, because we get the neoliberals and the Republicans, right, were two sides of the same coin, right?
Right. And these issues are popular against the populace. It's it's not just a Dem or Republican issues, so there's so much we can come together and change. But as long as we all end up really focusing first on anti-corruption and election reform, getting money out of politics, we're going to be struggling the whole way through. So we've got lots we can come together on.
Yeah,
these changes.
Yeah, I think that's the key is the anti-corruption. You know, Tim Canova and several others, in all the states across the country. That's where it's at. Because if you can't get the election integrity lined up to where your votes are being counted, not flipped for the other team, if you can't stop the mass low-tech and high-tech rigging, I mean, everything else is kind of moot, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so that's what we need to think about. I want to give a shout out to everybody this morning that's joining us. Barbara Bartleson, and there's another incarnation of Rhonda Walker, and Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Glad to see you. We are just going to have a quick, short show again today. We want to do this every day, and we're evolving the show each day, each week. We hope it gets a little bit better and get our outreach out there. So if you can like and share, if you like it and share it. If not, that's fine too. But we're all friends and we're all trying to do some good work and, have some entertainment value and, maybe let you know some things that we don't know. Let's run this clip of Crystal this morning from Rising, and then we can finish out this topic. She's talking about, what's she talking about? Rhonda?
Is this the part that they were questioning part of his campaign, or? I
think they were. It was the first part of it is she's reminding people about the structure and how we've gone at things, and this is her radar. So without further ado, here's Crystal.
Crystal, what's on your radar?
Well, throughout the Democratic primary, and especially since South Carolina, we've spoken a lot here about the lessons for the populist left to learn from the Bernie Sanders campaign. Use the language of the everyday rather than the activist. Be serious about making an electability case in a time when electability concerns won the day. And probably above all, if you're going to run an anti-establishment campaign, then you got to run an anti-establishment campaign. Don't call your most significant rival your friend. Don't ignore massive liabilities of that rival, and don't punish members of your team who are just trying to make that case. Voters aren't going to believe that they should really invest their vote in overthrowing the Democratic establishment when you seem pretty friendly with the Democratic establishment. We're going to discuss some more of these lessons with the guests like Cenk Uygur, Chuck Rocha, Kyle Kulinski, Nathan Robinson, Ryan Grimm, and more today and tomorrow. So look forward to that. But just as important as learning the right lessons is not learning the wrong lessons and making.
Okay, I think she makes a pretty salient point there, and I don't view this as Monday morning quarterbacking by Crystal. I think that she's being honest and sincere in her, her approach. I mean, Rhonda, how do you, when a campaign that was chugging along like Bernie's, how do you throw shade at it in the middle of that campaign without knowing what the outcome's going to be? And people can take or leave Crystal too, but that's my question.
Well, I mean, there's so many variables that happen in the campaign. He should have just won. The Dem Party knows what they're doing. The establishment knows what they're doing, and it just showed again this time around. They're very, very smart. They played it right. They had so many people going in just to try to do whatever they could to take Bernie out. That didn't work, so they called the big guns in, and they all lined up behind Biden. I mean, we knew that things were going to happen, but I still am surprised at some points when things did come out because I wasn't expecting it. But then I'm just like, well, yeah, of course they did. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, that's circling the wagons. Let's let her expand on that a little bit, and then we'll finish up on this topic. I hope. This is. Can we call this one Throw-Up Thursday for this date? I mean, it's like...
Yes, because I am feeling a bit nauseous.
Yeah, me too.
Make no mistake about it, the media and the Dem establishment are counting on you and everyone else learning the wrong lessons. You see, they want you to give up. They want you to think it's impossible for someone who believes in healthcare for all, in dismantling corporatism, in ending the wars, in preserving the planet to win. Why? Well, you know the answer. Because each item that I just ticked off in that list is a threat to the financial interests that really run Washington, D.C., to military-industrial complex and big pharma and the health insurers and the fossil fuel interests and the Wall Street financiers who profit off of all of it. And so what we'll hear over and over again, and which will undoubtedly become the conventional wisdom in this town once again, but which we must never accept, is that Bernie lost because he was too radical. His ideas, they'll tell us, were just too extreme. They were rejected by the American people and therefore abandon all hope. Get with the program, suck it up and vote Joe, and accept that the best you can hope for is the impossibly constrained, narrow incrementalism at best and regressive destruction at worst of the standard issue corporate Dems. It is not true.
It is not true. It is not true.
Yeah.
It is not true.
It is absolutely not true. And Crystal nails it like we all probably would who have been engaged in this process. It's not true. We are getting Joe Biden, which is getting shoved down our throats, just like Hillary Clinton got shoved down our throats. And this time, the percentage of people that flipped over to vote for Hillary aren't going to flip over to vote for Biden, even with the vote shaming, even with the vote blue no matter who. We've seen it in our groups all day yesterday and all line. We can't have another term of 45. No, we can't. But you know what? The way that the establishment and the oligarch played this thing was brilliantly evil. I mean, they used everything against us. They used our passion. They used our energy. They used our commitment. And you run that risk every time. What do you feel? How do you feel about that, Rhonda?
Well, they're not going to get any of us without some major overhauls to go out and volunteer or donate or even really say much nice at the moment. You know, we get dismissed all the time, and these lies, like she pointed out, and you pointed out, these lies that these issues are radical, that people don't want this. I mean, we're not gonna let that narrative get out there. We just can't.
No, don't give up.
I mean, we're gonna be working, so we're not going away. So they're hoping that we would just go away, be quiet, vote however they tell us to do, and. The people in this movement, and it's not about Bernie, and people have woken up to that fact. It is not a Bernie cult. They just won't do whatever he says. We as a whole criticize Bernie when we're not happy with certain ways things are going. What he did is he taught us the ways, the path forward, how we can win as the people, how this destruction, this money in politics, this corruption is really happening. And so we're woken up to fight that. We're fighting corruption. We're not fighting we're not fighting just the Republicans. We're not fighting just the Democrats. We're fighting for the people, and that's not going to stop. So yeah, we will be out there every day fighting for Medicare for all. We will be out there every day still fighting for the Green New Deal, fighting for money out of politics. It's not going to stop, no matter what they try to say. Bernie wasn't radical enough for the majority of us, so that whole narrative of he's too radical just won't fly.
No, it won't fly. It truly won't fly. I want to say hi to Ernest of Gaia. Is that right, Ernest? And I apologize for my four-legged girls in the background. They know I'm doing the show, and they hear the motorcycle, and they start barking. Anyway, hi, Jilly, love. Hi, Jilly. Anyway, so moving along on this, Rhonda, one of the points that were made last evening in the show, the Progressive Oregon show, was that by our friend and executive producer, he said, okay, everybody, so now and this is not a direct quote, obviously, I'm trying to put it back together. So you think you're just going to give the Democratic Party, flip a finger and walk away and go to hell and screw you and everything? And his contention was that in order to play this game that's been set by the duopoly, you have to get inside the party and try and make change. And I understand where he's coming from, and logically, yeah, that's how you would probably do it. There's a couple of things wrong with that. The clock is ticking, and I don't think the kind of change we will be able to make in the short time period we have against all the money and power that already exists in the structure is feasible. So I'm open to other ideas. I feel a Marie Antoinette coming, yellow vest or something at some point, but to his point, if you are going to get in the system and change it as it is, you better just think about that. Get in there and do it. And I'm not saying voting for Joe Biden or vote blue no matter who, because we have Joe Biden, which, albeit best kind to his character, is questionable, and I'll get into that towards the end of the program. And then we've got Donald Dumpy, who is above the law, and he's going to not follow the law for his next couple of terms. So, to John's point last night, what do you say? Do you agree with that, or do you say it should be Dem exit, build a third party? I kind of have an idea what you're going to say, but go ahead.
The whole thing that I have a problem with, first off and foremost, is you got to go in and play the game. This is not a game for the majority of us people, but those establishment are acting like it is a game. It's life or death for the majority of people that have come in to the political system and are fighting within the Dem Party and those outside the Dem Party. I think every single person is important and necessary in that fight. Now, going within the Democratic Party and pushing and pulling it to represent the people where it originally started from is a very hard position to take. But there are people in there doing it. And so we've got to support those in there trying to have the Democratic Party represent the people again. It's a long process, and actually almost all the things that we have that we can do out there is a longer process. But like you said, that there's not much time left on the clock, and the hopes of Bernie becoming president helped us look at that timeline as an achievable manner, like in a time frame that we can actually have these big changes in the amount of time we need. Well, with how it is looking like now, whether we get Biden or we get Trump, we're screwed. The time frames we need things to happen are not there unless we the people make it happen. So I say go in the Dem Party and fight and push and get those positions and take it back. I say get outside of that Dem Party and push a new third party and give them something to look at. And I say screw parties altogether. Get out there and fight, in our issues, get out there and fight the corruption, get big money out of politics. I say we got to do it all. Get out there and run for frickin' office. We need every single level pushing on our system as a whole, not just the Dem Party, the Republican Party too. Our system as a whole, break the two-party system down. Let's get ranked choice voting going, and again, like as mentioned in our chat, not again, but there's lots of things we can do, but we can't keep doing it the way that's always been done. So just get out there and work on it, and let's all support each other in whichever route we so choose, because we're all needed at every single piece.
No, I certainly agree, and again, you've got two sides of the same coin with the Democratic Party and the Republicans. It's not all about Trump. It's TDS, and we're seeing missteps and just trying to bring back the good old days with Joe Biden, which weren't so good under the Obama administration. And that's a topic for another day. But I want to look forward and learn from what we have. We are in the long game here, folks. This wasn't going to be a long football game or basketball game. This is a political game, and it's life and death. And we just can't expect, we've been kicked in the face twice now. 2016, we're getting kicked again. And some people are saying, well, Bernie didn't endorse Biden. He's still collecting delegates. Yeah, he is. to have an effect on the platform and get a little more power in there. But the bottom line is
right. But there's questions on that though too right now, Oz. Like some of the delegates are already being taken away from him because he has stepped down, and or they're talking about canceling some primaries because there's only one on the ballot. So together then. So there's even more, fuckery going on out there.
For so much for democracy, so much for the rules when both parties make their own rules. And what I can't get is, if this is for the public, is this for the democracy, then why do two corporate entities get to set the rules and run the system? I mean, this is O2 bullshit. I mean, the people need to do it themselves and have a nonpartisan entity running this thing, just like the damn debates. The League of Women Voters used to run good debates back in the day. So the DNC takes those over and they give it to their corporate donors. To run a debate between the candidates. Oh, that's fine, well and good if you've got all establishment candidates in there and they're going to do a smoke and mirrors show because they're getting money from the same corporations. But you get a Democratic Socialist or an independent in there. Oh my God, it's attack the person on stage. So again, I'm preaching to the choir.
If they're allowed on stage.
Yeah, if they're allowed.
Any kind of.
Yeah, that's that tokenism of letting all of those Marie Williamson and Tulsi Gabbard and even some of the gazillionaires that were on there. That was tokenism in that way, and it's just an insult to the public. And we ourselves shoot ourselves in the foot or the face every time we allow that crap to go on. And that's a criticism of the Sanders campaign, because allies on that stage got cut. No matter what the relationship is on policy, on issues, there were allies on the stage. I mean, Tulsi and Marie Williamson and even Andrew Yang before he went to the dark side. At least they were talking about it. So,
Well, like you said, though, it is true. So you got the DNC and the RNC. They are private organizations. It is. And when they were doing caucuses, they had to pay for those themselves as a private organization, private party. You pay for this, you figure out who you want to put up. Well, once they switch to a primary process, like especially in Washington State here, it goes to the taxpayers. So it takes the money out of the private organizations and puts it onto the taxpayers to run these primaries. And then they're told, then the Dems are going to kind of dictate how they're run. So I don't know about anybody else, but I as a taxpayer, I'd be pissed. I'm pissed. I know that, these aren't free and fair elections.
They're not.
So we got a lot of work to do, and there is work to do. So let's come together and do that work. Election reform, corruption, and getting money out of politics.
And healthcare.
Get things done.
Healthcare for all, whole Washington, Medicare for all. End of story. Pandemic. End of story.
Well, right, but those first basics you have to get.
You got to get the basics in there. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now, I want to put a different light on this too. Okay. So how does this relate to, when you're socializing an election and the taxpayers are paying for the election and the process, right? Okay. So how is that any different than giving that money to the corporations to run their own show? I mean, that's just ridiculous. We are subsidizing corporations, these two organizations, to run our elections with our tax money, and they get to set the rules. They don't have any oversight. It's just ridiculous.
Well, of course, that's how they run the government. These private corporations are paying,
we're
private party organizations to, not necessarily just to vote their way, but they're writing the damn bills.
They're writing the damn bills. we're
It's working just the way that they want it.
Just the way that they want it. We are subsidizing these corporations to fight against our own democracy. So we're shooting ourselves in the head twice here. So get a clue, folks. And I guess lastly, I'll say, if any of you are still watching the MSN, the MSNBS, the CNN, turn that shit off, because you know what? As we die off, as we get older, we're going to be gone, and this younger generation is automatically going to shut down CNN and MSNBC. Let's show our children and the next generations that we do have some smarts left, for Christ's sake, and turn that garbage off, because that, of everything else, was the big factor in twisting this election, next to the election fraud, not voter fraud, the election fraud that we had. And that's all I'm going to say. We're running along on time here. I don't want to make it too long, but what last word, Rhonda?
Oh, no, I agree. The election itself, but I do give the most blame onto MSM overall with all of our problems. They just need to go away.
They need to go away. I mean, it's like poison from the well. Okay, on to our Throwback Thursday movie pick. I want to introduce Cellular. I mean, some of you have seen this, and I try, when I pick these things out, I try and pick them out in the ones that kind of got left out that were actually, in my opinion, much better than they got credit for. I mean, this got 3 stars, I think a 5.8 at IMDb, if that means anything. But Cellular is one that I always go to when I want some action and some adventure. It's starring Kim Basinger, Chris Evans, Jason Statham, William H. Macy, and Jessica Biel when she was younger, before Justin. But anyway, it was suspenseful, and I got to say, I just whatever. I'm gonna run the clip here real quick, so you guys can see it. Where is it? Here it is. No, it's not. There it is. No, where's the clip? I lost the clip. Cellular. Let me see. Have you seen that movie, Rhonda? Cellular?
Yes, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I do remember watching it when it first came out.
Did you like it?
I think I did.
Okay, well, let's run this clip and see if it'll remind everybody. New Line Cinema. Uh-oh, bad man.
Tell me what I need to know.
I don't know what you're talking about!
Yes, you do.
Son again.
You got the wrong family!
God, she screams great, doesn't she?
This is the single greatest phone ever made. Hold on a second, I'm emailing this video to myself.
Captain America. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me
Who
now?
is this, Chloe?
No. My name is Jessica Mark. I've been kidnapped. The phone I'm talking on, it's destroyed. If you hang up, I may not be able to get anybody else. Oh my God. Someone's coming.
I'm gonna die here.
No!
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And I hope he took his Valium.
Kidnapping.
Anybody here? Police!
We have a visitor.
Get rid of him.
What happened here?
She was a cop. She was dirty, Jack.
Hurry.
Dirty cop. Who knew?
My school gets out. They can't get him.
I gotta follow your car.
Ryan, don't let him get away.
Where is she? Battery's dying.
Do you have a charger?
I'm checking the car.
Oh, I'm always looking for a charger.
I'm getting us a charger. Don't worry, I'll find you.
Hurry.
I got a life and death call. Give a charger?
Sir, you need to wait your turn.
Excuse me.
Take a number.
Now who's gonna give me that charger?
I have no right to ask you this, but you're my family's only hope.
I need your car.
Who are you? How did you get involved?
I just answered my phone.
Hello? Are you there?
Oh, I got to tell you. I mean, and now that you've seen the entire movie, you have to watch it because they didn't show the end of the movie. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. This is, like I said, we're trying to do these, format these shows and have fun with them. That was Cellular. I highly recommend it. Give me your feedback if you get a chance, and we'll go from there. Rhonda, ready to go with the outro today?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
You know, we're not going anywhere. We're continuing the fight. Join your local groups. There's lots and lots of things going on. There is still hope out there. Stay strong.
There is help out there. And I'm going to do a little preface on this outro. This is a cover for a good old wartime song, Gimme Shelter. And in this day and age, when all we seem to get is that shit sandwich I referred to before, and this is kind of apropos for Throwback Thursday or Throw Up Thursday, whatever you want to call it. Gimme Shelter, some of the words in here: war, children, just a shot away, rape, murder, yeah, rape, murder, death, kill, give me some shelter from all that. But that being said, I mean, look around, look at the candidates: rape, murder, war, Trump, Biden. I mean, it's too bad they didn't have a line for some other things that are going on. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us today. This has been another, evolving production. And I really do appreciate you all being here. So without further ado, this is Gimme Shelter, a cover, and I think it speaks volumes to what's going on today.
Thank you.
I'm gonna stop it.
It's just watching. If you click on that bell, you will be notified right away when I upload a new video. Also, I'm very happy to announce that
Thank you, Alyona Yarushina. I think she's a Russian bot. What do you guys think? Have a great day, everybody.